the amount of time we have left.
Yeah.
So, since Jen will be able to play till like 10, I guess we should start right about now. I guess once I hear from Jen, we're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, continue from last week. We're going to do a quick map change.
Oh,
The group has went over to Kupakara. Blake, you're not able to see the map, are you? Not at the moment. Oh, okay. You're looking at
White
it.
void with 4 tiny
It's all white.
edges on it.
yeah.
So, on the map that you're currently looking at, the Sky Jade, which is located right here, I have the word Sky Jade printed. You all arrived over at Kubakara. You arrived at the space dock, and just due to the adventure that you had getting here, dealing with the other ship that exploded with no remains left of it, you found a room over at the Sky Jade. Had a interesting
Brendan, is there another map that's on this screen?
another map. Can this one not be?
Yeah, all I'm seeing is 4 different pictures and then leads in the Blue Room, Scuttle, and Lizard with their pictures.
Yeah, I just
on
see
the
a
bottom
white
left.
thing.
It's all white otherwise.
Yeah.
Did you put the back map on the DM layer?
No, I'm looking at it right now. I'm surprised you don't see it, but okay. I'm gonna just re-insert it. So quick second. Are you able to see it now?
Yep, there it is.
There we are.
I hope the proportion is still correct.
Oh, awesome.
All right. Well, that was weird. Okay. You arrived at Kubakara. The Sky Jade, which is placed right here where the train is located at, is where all of you have currently spent your night, your evening. Your Kalani's encounter with Jeb, a toner, watching TV. Captain Snow just kind of staying hidden from everyone else that was located here.
The nice
All
little
of
family
those
dinner.
festivities happened here at the Sky Jade. When you woke up the next morning and Kalani, Toner, and Snow all went to meet up with Jeb, you rode to several different locations here through their bullet train system. It's roughly the afternoon. Jeb is hoping to meet up with you at the Lizard Lounge, or meet up at least with Kalani tonight at the Lizard Lounge, at the location that's directly south. Towards the top left is the
Scuttle.
Scuttle Cybernetic Shop, and towards the bottom right, I believe I gotta look at it. Toward the bottom right is the Blue Room, just kind of as the leads that you've picked up. Before even getting to here, all the research that you have been putting, all the research that you have been doing has been research on the company known as Eclipse Innovations. There you go. Eclipse Innovations. They're the ones that were behind the app that happened on Station, where you saw people going a bit crazy. They are also developers on an app that's known in this area as Penumbra. So anything and everything that you've been doing have been leads towards this company right here. Did someone drop out?
Sounds like it.
Sorry, my smooth brain did that thing again where it saw the update button on Discord. It's like, ooh, what's this? And just clicked it.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, I'll like, wait, no. I think that'll disconnect me.
So I'm like, oh right,
Not this time, Discord.
not this time, green. That color
So in,
tells you want to click it.
in certain areas of Kubakara, there have been as mentioned by Jeb, there are certain areas where like phones will go through this weird connection process. Kalani happened to see a glimpse of it while talking to Jeb last night. He didn't seem to notice it at that moment, and it has been said to all of you from Kalani that like there's certain areas here where you get like an odd ping. These three locations happen to be one of them. I've hinted to the idea of these are the three locations to check out. You can decide to go as a group, or you could be a bit on the edgier side and split the party if you want to knock all three at once. The only thing is the one happening with the one that's happening at the Lizards Lounge is going to be at night. So this is where I'm going to turn over the scene to all of you, the party, to decide how you want to progress.
And we all meeting back up at the Sky Jade.
I'll just to keep this story moving. I'll say all of you are meeting back at the Sky Gate. Your trip has ended. Jeb is continuing about his day, and all of you are together at this point at the Sky Gate.
I've recovered and come back from the ship.
We just let the post-it note in your head. Jade.
Huh.
Sky Jade.
Scrub it out, Sky.
Before that, could I make a quick shopping run?
No!
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. You do what you want.
I was gonna go to any old. I was gonna go to any old. I guess.
Granted, we do have to go to a cybernetics shop, but his prices are outrageous!
I was actually gonna go to like some like magic shop, like quote unquote magic shop, and buy 5 special monuments worth at least 1,000 credits.
She's buying components.
Magic supply surplus.
Yeah.
There's just a guy who's like 18, got pimpled, wrinkled face, and has like a top hat. Welcome to the Magic Emporium, where all your magic comes true. How can I help you? My name is Steve the Magnificent. How may I help you?
Damn, I'm sorry.
Yeah, can I get 5 monuments worth 1,000 credits? Yes, let me bring that to you with my magical spell. Alakazam! And he just like starts going on a rover down the halls of storage.
Oh my god. This poor person. Brandon, is this real? Is this real?
Is this actually happening, Brandon?
Sure.
Oh god. Oh god, I feel so bad.
Memorable people that you just like. Oh, I remember that person. So yeah, that's canon.
Oh, Steve the Magnificent.
You just see him at the end of the line, he like looks over the shelves, takes down 5 things, and then like has to pull a silk blanket out of his pocket and cover it, and then bring it over.
Now in Verses, Steve the Magnificent
Alakazam,
needs to be in NPCs.
Alakazoo, Alakazee, just like pulls it off, and behold, your shopping supplies have appeared.
I'm gonna look him dead in the eyes and I'm gonna say, dude, that sucks. I'm so sorry. And I'm
The
gonna
only
give him
spell
1,000
I haven't
credits.
learned is how to end myself.
No! I'm gonna give him 1,000 credits. So that's 6,000 right there. That's fine. I'll survive. Jesus Christ, that boy guy needs it more than
I'm
me.
sorry I brought him into existence. Poor Steve the Magnificent.
Poor Steve the Magnificent, man. That sucks.
He now has a
God,
spot
we're
on
getting
the map.
flashbacks to Rite Aid.
Now he needs his own little
no.
tab next to Jeb.
Steve the Magnificent.
Let's go completely
I
out of our way
flipped him an
just to
extra
visit
1,000,
Steve
just
the
like, dude, I'm
Magnificent.
so sorry.
Do you know anyone who needs a kidney?
Dude, I'm so fucking sorry.
I mean, I only have one, but you know,
Oh my
I can
god.
live without it. You know, I'm sure I can last a little bit with it. I need some good money.
You're Desna, who hurt you?
I'm making Steve into a very sad character. He's
Oh
like
my
he's like
god.
he's basically all the negative energy that Louis doesn't have.
Oh.
All of it's put into this.
Okay, so that's 6,000 because I felt bad for that poor fucking kid.
I'm not allowed to take tips, but thanks.
I slip it in his pocket or something.
Sir, that kind of magic is done down the street. That's like
God.
Miss Madam Maggie's magical sex emporium.
Ma'am, this is a Wendy's. But yeah, I feel so bad for that poor guy. I'm gonna give him some extra cash.
Thank you, sir. This will help me with my medication.
Oh,
You know, because of the lack of a kidney.
oh my god.
And when the guy clocks out, it's like, I can't believe I just conned how many different suckers.
I don't even work here.
No. Wait,
Steve the Magnificent's tied up in the back room.
oh my god.
He's the ultimate con artist. He's even more than that guy we arrested on New Elysium.
Okay, so I have the monuments now, so that's good. I imagine they're like little tiny like totems you'd get from a why isn't the word coming?
Because words
Oh
are hard.
god. As you leave, he's just like, have yourself a magical day. God, I hate this.
You don't have to say it. It looks like it's
I
painful.
legally
Please
have
stop.
to. It's in the contract.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, he did a
I'm gonna
magic
break-
trick to make me sign a contract. I didn't get to
Oh,
read it beforehand. 'Cause
Oh,
he burned
God.
that half and then brought it back.
I think that's legal.
You'd think, but that's magic.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I
That
don't know how to
wasn't signed
leave.
in blood.
I'm sorry that I've taken control of this story with this sad
Havoc's
character.
too awkward to leave.
So, anyways, Gunnar,
Okay,
did you
bye.
find anything?
I'm sorry. Okay, bye.
You guys just at the room. I feel like the rat's in a really bad place right now.
I didn't
Oh,
I
know
don't
that.
know why.
We're all in a really bad place right now. That's nothing new.
That's true.
You know when I said you were like that kid that waits all the way through the line to find out the line's closed, and then it reopens back up? This is what happens.
I just make up a very sad character. This is how I express myself.
Is all that
Alrighty.
built up repressed roleplay all coming out at once.
Pretty much.
Remember how I said this was gonna be quick?
And then you
This
met
is your doing,
Steve.
Connell. This is all your fault.
That's fine. I'm the one role playing him, so I'm still getting what I want.
Alrighty. So I've obtained monuments, and also I feel really bad for some 18-year-old retail worker.
Now that that has been resolved,
For now.
Gunnar, did you find anything in your search?
Yeah, I found that guy's shop. Seems to be sort of a dealer for gangs. Really jacks up the prices unless you have a quote-unquote friends and family discount.
Oh,
But that's pretty much being a part of a gang, and doesn't seem like he's really been, let's say, confronted by the cops and for good reason.
I mean, we're not here to be cops, so it doesn't matter to us in one way or the other.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that there's no chip in our corner for that. Plus,
Am
he
I
also
with
has
them now?
some Veskin guards usually with him.
Am I with them now, Brendan?
Mm-hmm. Everyone's grouped up at this point, just because I know we are a bit limited on time. So at this point, everyone's all grouped together.
Alrighty.
So,
Does
Kalani,
anybody know, like, if they have like a symbol or anything?
A what?
A symbol? Like, if the guy has a symbol, or if any of the gangs here have a symbol?
I mean, if you want to go wandering around and find out about gang
I mean,
culture
there
around
might
here,
be like a gang tag or something.
Oh, symbol. I was thinking thimble, and I was so confused.
They have
Like,
their grandmother's thimbles to remember them by.
yeah,
Oh,
it's like,
wait.
hang on, I have to sew my gang sign real quick. Let me get out my
Never
crochet
mind.
needles.
You can use the crochet
Never
needles to
mind.
stab your eyes out, but first I gotta finish this pelt.
Havoc doesn't remember getting the implant. Back when, back a while back, where, the really shady dude, basically just plugged something into her without any permission.
the one that Snow pulled out and then plugged back in to wake you up.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Snow could have seen something on it. Never mind. Okay, so, sorry.
Alright,
Okay.
Kalani has a date tonight.
Ooh, spill the beans.
Wait, what?
Informant, as well as connections to other possible informants.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure we're not just hooking people up while being hunted down by a bunch of mercenaries and assassins.
Nah,
it's
I
me,
mean, come
Gunner.
on. The dude's an elf, so I'm gonna lock in for crying out loud.
That doesn't mean
What
shit.
does that mean?
Looks
Elves
at the other
I
two
mean, if it's your
blocking.
personal taste,
Yeah,
that's one
hell of a
thing.
lot
Just because you're
older
blocking doesn't mean you have
than.
to limit yourself. But you do
But
you.
elves tend to be a heck of a lot older than they really look.
That's up to you.
She's not one of those sick smoothies.
Be right back, guys.
But, anyways, I was thinking that we might be able to visit Scuttle's shop. Kalani would definitely need to go speak with this person out at the Lizard's Lounge. But whether we're going to be together or not, that's an entirely different matter altogether. At the very least, a toner should be with her for that.
We definitely can't travel alone with who knows how many different mercenary gangs on our ass. Plus, the place I'm going to is sort of a crime bed, so could be a place for a lot of them or just a gang to try and find a quick buck.
Yeah, I would like to go with you two, Scuttles.
I'll come if that's okay.
Oh yeah, come on with me. There's also the Soki.
There's also some information about the Blue Room, but that's also an elitist kind of place.
Perfect, just
the-
for people like me.
The best way to get into there is once again Kalani's contact. So that may have to be put on hold until she could smooth them up a bit to get in there.
Out of character, just imagine it's like, oh, you have to have a mask. I'm like, oh, look who is ready.
I mean, Snow is also like that right now. Both like Snow and Gunner just standing side by side, like full decked out equipment, like fully covered face shield.
Yeah, also Havoc, because she has a mask too.
All right, yeah.
Owner.
Wait, isn't Jobron also with his stag step suit?
I think he does.
Because I know it does have a full helmet, but I don't know if he keeps that full helmet on all the time or not.
Well, that's the first Twisted Team.
That's most of our team that wears a full helmet or mask.
Just a bunch of Spartans and then a fox.
Hey, Snow is in her full stuff and mask because she's very easily identified and clearly being hunted. So
All right,
she's hiding everything that she looks like.
So, do we want to go to Scuttles first, then the Lizard's Lounge, and possibly the Blue Room?
It seems like that's the best order, unless we could find something else that we could also use along the way.
Nope, seems fine to me. Now the question is how we get into each place.
I mean, the monorail would be the fastest.
Let's see, does the monorail go to?
I believe the monorail is here, which does actually
Yeah,
go
I'm not
right
sure
by
if it's
Scuttles.
these ones or if it's the gray ones.
I like the idea of having combat on a train.
I'm pretty sure these are the monorail with the stations.
Okay.
So yeah,
All right, cool. So we can do
we'd
that.
easily be able to get to all 3 stops on the monorail.
Just gotta keep an eye out.
So the idea is to go to which location first?
We're going to
Scuttles
Scuttles first.
And who's going? Everyone?
Yes. We're all
Seems
gonna go
like
to
it.
Scuttles and then plan to go to the Lizard's Lounge afterwards.
Okay. The Lizard's Lounge is the club, so that
Yeah.
would be the night one. The
Yeah.
Blue Room is
The hoity-toity up.
Yeah, the
Yeah, the Cyber
hoity-toity
Cafe.
place that you needed.
Oh, it's just a cyber cafe.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The Blue Room is the Cyber Cafe one.
Oh,
The
okay, that's not
Lizard's Lounge
hoity-toity.
is the club. The
That's where all the
Lizard's
nerds go.
Lounge is the more like exclusive one. Like they're the
Yeah,
like,
okay.
all members.
All right, so we already have our in for that, and the Blue Room is just
I
freaking
mean, it
computer room.
It shouldn't take long for us to go to Scuttles and get what we can out of there. We could then go to the Blue Room after, and then that would be late enough in the evening to get to Lizard's Lounge.
As long as nothing gets in the way.
Yeah, as long as nothing gets in the way, but come on, nothing ever gets in the way.
How dare you
I just
invoke the law of
looked at you.
Murphy?
It's like, why would you say that? That's just asking the gods to fuck us up.
They're gonna fuck us
Do
up no matter
not
what.
invoke the law of Murphy.
All right, let's just get this shit show over with. Head for the tram station.
At the very least, I could go to the Blue Room.
I don't know, a bunch of nerds, an idol might be able to get in there.
Yes, but if the idol doesn't have enough time to get to Lizard's Lounge, at the very least, I could go to the Blue Room.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone set for Scuttles?
Yep. I mean, Snow's also kind of interested to see what Skulls has to offer with various mods and things like that.
You don't want to buy from him.
Okay. So you head on the train. Once you go onto the train, it just costs 1 credit to get you from the Skygate to any of the square blocks. Once you arrive to the closest station to where Scuttle's cybernetic shop is, you take it. Scuttle's cybernetic shop is about 2 blocks away from the train station that you're looking at. When you head in that direction, the golden glow of evening light fades to near blackness within this maze of murky, shadowed streets illuminated only by blazing neon signs. The few pedestrians in the area move quickly, heads down, clutching their valuables as they speed past stone walls crowned by razor wire and adorned with colorful graffiti. The squalid buildings here are characterized by boarded windows and metal doors riddled with bullet holes. Located near a 2-way intersection, one such entrance is adjacent to a large intact storefront window displaying a variety of tech from weapons to cybernetic augmentations. Neon block letters above the door simply state open.
And this place has a kind of a country feel to it.
This is definitely my kind of neighborhood.
I've never been here before.
I've never been here before either, but bullet holes in buildings is nothing new to me.
I mean, we've seen the same kind of thing in Absalom, right?
only like the worst parts of it.
I mean, yeah.
Question for Brendan. For proof of allegiance, would a gang sign work?
You can give it a try.
Oh no.
The other question is, would I even know what their sign is?
Brendan, I just posted up my theme knowledge for Cyberborn. So I have the reduce DCs for engineering checks to identify cybernetic augmentations and life science checks to recall knowledge about cybernetic augmentations,
Okay.
as well as corporations and other research facilities involved in the production of said cybernetics.
Sounds perfect.
So yes,
Okay.
good stuff for Snow.
All of you heading inside. A few of you heading inside. This is the screen that I just put up is what you'll see once you open the door and take a few steps in.
Snow has every interest in going inside. This is like right up her alley kind of stuff.
Should I roll to see if I know, like, the local gangs and their sort of signals and stuff?
If you want to, give me a culture. I know culture isn't your best, but you can still
Culture
try.
is not. I mean, I have nothing in culture, so that's an 18.
18.
Yeah, I'll help him out there.
13 for me.
Well, plus 16, that's 28. Plus 5, 33 for my culture.
22 culture.
All right, so Kalani, you hopefully got it.
Oh, of course. It's one of my max skills.
I was hoping for survival.
I mean, this would fall under culture.
I know.
Yeah.
But I used survival to figure out all this information.
One of the popular gangs located here. I should have put the information in one of the blogs. I get to it later. But one of the well-known gang members on the planet of Verces is named the Zayukas. Their symbol. Let me see. I don't have a way to draw it and show it to you, but their symbol looks very similar to these characteristics that are formed with angular lines. It looks to be almost like a different language. For someone who knows Versite, this looks like the equivalent of what we would see if we were to look at Japanese characters.
Oh, neat.
Oh, interesting.
Oh god, now I get it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I wonder if we'll run into
They're like the
near
Yakuza.
you and
Yeah, if you look at the name, Zayuka, Yakuza.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kazuma.
Yakuza.
I was thinking Warframe, but that makes more sense.
Quick, someone roll perception to see if they spot any people wearing eye patches.
Oh no.
I was gonna go a bit more in detail, but I think you
Or
got
missing fingers.
31 on perception to find a guy with an eye patch.
these gang members are notorious for having multiple tattoos displayed on their arms, some showing possibly like kills they got or things that they pride about. Looking around the streets of some of the people that kind of skitter away from you, you see a few of them wearing an eye patch. One of which is wearing two. And Captain Snow, if you look at it, those also intend to look like cybernetic enhancements.
Neat.
All right, now they've got all the information. I guess we can go in. If anyone has a bit way of utilizing that, please do, because I don't.
I mean, Snow's not that much of a talker, so one of the talkers should do it. I was just gonna say that Jubilee is going to do the merge with Snow before they even left the train, so she has the bot with her without actually looking like there's a separate bot with her.
I'm gonna actually insert one map. This one map is gonna have the location, all three locations on it. I just had no way to get this map put into Roll20. But when you do take a look at Scuttles, like when you check out the perimeter of Scuttles, it's not uploading. I'll work on that in a second. When you look at the perimeter of Scuttle's shop, you see that besides his shop, around it, some of the buildings are kind of spaced away, but towards the back of his shop, he kind of has in a gated section a trash compactor with a whole bunch of junk placed in the back. It looks like the only entrance into the shop would be through the gated area or through the front door. Just to go with the atmosphere of what you're experiencing.
Alright, so I guess we're gonna do a little bit of quote unquote shopping.
Yay.
Snow is gonna be the first one to walk in.
Snow walking in.
Yep.
So
I'll be right behind her.
as you step into the shop, you see just a lot of weapons and parts displayed all along the walls. Out of character, any weapon that you would see in like the armory or in the core rulebook that's like level 12 or less, he has almost every one of those items placed into the shop somewhere. Some of them being larger items and more on display than others. But when you take a look towards the counter, you see this Yazaki, white furred Yazaki with these beady red eyes. He looks to be working on some type of contraction. And to the left and right of him, behind the desk, are these two vests that look dressed as bodyguards.
And Snow's gonna be speaking in Vesk, pretty much to anyone who's following her. I heard that this was the place. Can you confirm that?
You're going to say this to Scuttle?
No, whoever is following behind me, I'm gonna be speaking in Vesk.
Oh, okay, that's me. Yep.
Oh, you're coming too? Okay, I thought you were going on the date.
No, it's not till later.
That's not until a little later, yeah. We're all kind of together.
Does this look like
From
the
what I
place?
gathered.
So you should have a somewhat better picture of Scuttle now.
So I answer Snow back. It's like, yeah, I think this is the place that we were told about.
Well then, talk to the rat.
The toner, when he enters, he's going to enter through the door, but then stand in front of the door.
Excuse me.
On the inside part or the outside part?
On the
I
inside.
walk between the toner's legs.
But he would go in last after the rest of the party went in. But,
Oh man.
but like basically like once everyone else goes in, he sort of goes there, like he goes in, like stands in the doorway and just sort of like crosses his arms.
I'm just gonna be looking at the wall of guns.
And Snow's also gonna be looking at like any kind of weapons or armor modifications.
As you just look over all the bits and surroundings, you can see the Vasquez are kind of just looking over the everyone that's approaching, and they're kind of looking, and then some of you get like a harder gaze than the others, but they don't move out of their seats. Both of their arms are just kind of crossed. They're silent, just watching, not really saying anything at this point.
Well, I go up to the Yasaki and speak to him in Yasaki. What should I say? Greetings. I heard that you have some pretty good deals and steals here.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
He's working on this small like mechanical looking thing that looks almost like a finger itself. He places it down and takes a look over to you. He says, "Depends who's asking.
Well,
Is it
I'm
for you?
asking.
Is this for you, or is this for your associates that stepped in with you?"
Um, both.
He
And I give him a hard stare with my, so he can kind of tell that I have cybernetic eyes.
Okay. He takes a look over to you, and when you look over into his right eye, his both of his eyes look like a normal set of eyes. But when you look at his right eyes, when he blinks, it flickers almost like how a older generation camera would when you take a photo of something.
Oh, that's so cool.
And you see his eye do this weird gesture, and he says, "Oh, that looks like a decent part you got put on there. I've seen better though."
Yeah, it it does its job, so I'm happy with it. Unless you know something that would be better and made better, I might be willing to look into it. So to say.
He put both of his hands on the countertop and he goes to stand on it. As he stands on it, he's maybe about eye level with you at this point. He says, "Let me get a closer look at it." You first pick up just this odd stench that's coming from it. It smells like he may not have bathed in like a couple days. Odor is
Ew.
it's just it's easy to spy as soon as he like comes closer towards you. You see these stain pits. You see like stains underneath of his pits. Um, but he just tries to get like a closer look, and you could hear smaller sounds, like little sounds of excitement coming out of him.
And being
Examining.
Vlakin and having the highly sensitive smell too.
Yeah, I'm like,
He continues looking everything over, and he says, "I may have some parts for you, but they're not cheap. But they would be an improvement to what you have."
And Snow's gonna speak to Gunnar and Vlakin. Uh, you said that there's a way to get discount here.
We had to show that we're somehow affiliated with one of the gangs around here that he does business with.
And now we need to find out what gangs he does business with.
Well, we know he hired a bunch of mercenaries.
And we're a bunch of mercenaries.
Yeah, but we haven't done business with him.
We could probably arrange something then.
We'll have to see, because, this guy's definitely been here a while, so he's going to be very hesitant to just open up his arms to a bunch of new people.
Yeah.
well, I'm working on that.
I might be able to do something about that.
Oh shit, we about to have a rat laying.
Oh no.
Is does Havoc even know Vlakin?
Yeah, you're just hearing us going like.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Bork, bork, wolf.
Of course, if since you're Yasaki, you probably know Yasaki and you would be able to overhear our conversation.
I'm listening in. I'm eavesdropping, but I'm staying far away.
Mm-hmm.
See if I'm waiting to see if you need help, and then I'll slide in. But as I do that, I'm going to very quickly hide between Gunner, pull a silver thread out of thin air and wave it around myself a little, and cast Charming Veneer on myself. So that gives me a +1 bonus to
Could this be the one for this planet?
charisma checks and charisma-based skill checks.
Nice.
I didn't get it. What did you say?
It's a joke from earlier. Don't worry about it.
Whoops. Okay.
Brandon.
Yes, I'm listening.
By any random chance, the Vesk bodyguards, are they wearing helmets too, or are they like, or do they have like their heads exposed?
Their heads are exposed.
You know what I also have to ask towards that?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask too. How old do they look? Like, do they look old enough that they could have served?
One of them looks to be like a veteran Vesk. The other one isn't aged as much, but he looks like he's almost like either an accomplice or like a new hire. Like you can see
Aw,
he's
the
still
father's son.
getting it from everybody. It'd be easy to assume that without asking them. They do resemble each other, but one of them is clearly like older than the other.
You know, I
The
have to
veteran
ask.
one does look like.
The older one,
Do I recognize him?
I was about to ask the same. Like, would I recognize him from the army?
You both recognize the veteran one.
Oh shit.
And Snow's actually
I'm
gonna then
able
look
to do
really
something
hard at him, like through her helmet, and just
Otherwise, I have some of my associates here that might be interested in some other things.
A toner
And-
doesn't. Oh, sorry, I thought you were done. My bad.
And like I tell them, and I like kind of like do the head nudge thing towards no, and it's like she's the bigger. She would be the one to really talk shop to.
Snow is currently staring at the older Veska and just call out to him, "Hey, didn't I see you on insert name of battlefield?"
Oh shit.
And she does say that in Vesk.
I would, and I would actually hear it too because I know best.
And a toner, although he doesn't say anything, but he also looks like directly at the veteran, and he just takes off his helmet. Doesn't say anything. He just takes off his helmet.
Dad?
So we're all just looking at this Vesk now, probably.
Not me. I'm just looking at the weapons like, I am not getting involved in this.
Havoc's probably looking at him just like, what's going on?
Yeah, and Havoc doesn't know Vesk, does she?
No.
No, I don't think she does.
So we're just speaking in these foreign languages. You're like, I have no clue what's going on.
Just like, I know Common and Isoki, that's it.
Oh boy!
Just like, I'm just happy to be here.
And how does he respond, Brad?
What was the statement part one more time? I was taking notes.
I had to, since I don't know like exactly where Snow would remember him from. It's like, haven't I seen you on like
Insert
such and
battlefield.
such and such battlefield?
He so his arms was crossed the whole time, and they were both silent. But as that is being said, his demeanor completely changes. He still carries like this tough and bold attitude, but he stands up properly. He starts walking towards your direction, and Scuttle just takes a look over. He's like, "Yeah, what's going on here?" Scuttle, knowing that there's another guard to watch the back area, hops onto his back and begins to start to climb upwards. The vest steps directly towards you, maybe about like 10 feet away from you, and says, looks at you. The head kind of twitches to the side, almost like when you like say a command to a dog and the dog's not sure what's being said, and you kind of like turn that head to the side. He does that and he says, I was there, but I don't recognize you. Scuttle, uh, at this point, climbs over the shoulder. Um, and you see the same thing kind of happen with his right eye, the red part of his eye. It closes and opens, and he says, "Hey, I had that motion badge."
And she's gonna completely ignore the Ahsoka and is like, she taps the pretty much where the nose is on her mask and is like, yeah, you held up really well. I'm glad you're making some good of yourself after the war. And she reaches her hand out to shake his hand.
Oh,
And he still kind of jaded. He doesn't respond back towards it. He just kind of looks towards his shoulder, sees Scuttle, trying to see what Scuttle's reaction is. He looks like he's quote unquote maybe still on the clock with Scuttle, and this could in his eyes be seen as like a socializing thing where he's supposed to be like tough bodyguard. So you get the impression that without making a sense motive that maybe he wanted to do a handshake, but something's objecting him not to do it, and you can kind of see it in his face, but he's isn't responsive with giving a handshake back.
She holds her hands back like no problem, and be like, yeah, this motion sensor badge is kind of a new thing, as well as my wings and several others. Is there a problem with us doing business?
He takes a look. He's like, no, that. And he points towards your eye. He's like, no, that eye. That part came here. And he said, that's part number. And he lists the detailed part, like the PX13792 Y5XZ.
Write that down. Write that down.
Like that. I'm not gonna remember that. I made that up. I'm not gonna remember that.
Either
That is not
way,
important.
I now know the actual license code for the badge.
Time to hyperfixate on this one detail for the rest of the session.
This will be the end game.
So this is where the doctor got it from. He was very shifty and under the table most of the time.
Doctor, who are you talking about?
No, he's not that important. I'm sure he was the person who bought it from here or acquired it from this place, if you already know the information about it. So, as you can see, I'm, I guess you could say a roundabout return patron.
So what do you have your eye on over here? I see you and he looks towards the direction of Gunner. He says, your accomplice over there are eyeing up some of our gear.
Just really enjoying the merchandise. He's always on the lookout for new guns, and I'm always on the lookout for new mods. So why wouldn't we check out such a famous place like this?
Such a famous place. But yet I don't know who you are. Who are you again?
We are the crew of the Pyrrhic Odyssey, still making our names in the mercenary racket.
Okay.
Myself and my Vesk friend over there are remnants from the war.
He
By the way, after Toner took off his helmet, did the veteran Vesk recognize him at all?
he does recognize you as well. And as soon as I get to this small movement, I'm gonna go with that. Like I'm gonna follow immediately with that.
My boy.
Scuttle just takes a look over. He says, well, if you were to come here, I'm pretty sure I would have remembered. And he kind of like does like a weird kind of chuckle and kind of like knocks on his head. You can hear that he's hitting on his cranium, and you can hear like a steel plating inside.
I don't doubt that you would remember, but like I said, this was implanted from a doctor. Whether the doctor bought it here himself or had contracted someone else to get it, either way, it ended up in my possession. And And like I said, in a roundabout way, a return customer, because this is one of your products after all, isn't it?
It was something I acquired. I wouldn't say it's particularly my product, but it was something that I acquired, and everything that goes through Scuttle's shop, I can tell with a fine eye.
Yeah, so you know that we have quality and we do have a connection in that aspect. But other than looking at these mods, we could also use a bit of information.
Like what?
Uh, there's some business nearby doing a lot of app work, also some cybernetics work. Don't know if you've ran into them or not, or came across any of their wares. I honestly can't remember the name of the
Eclipse Innovation.
Eclipse Innovation.
So right before you mentioned Eclipse Innovation, he was kind of crawling on to the vest's back. He goes into a position where he begins to sit on the vest's shoulder with the tail kind of uh, raised up and kind of going over his Yazaki's shoulder. The vest now getting like a full whiff of this guy's scent head on, head is
Oh,
to the side
dang
in
it.
disgust.
Oh,
In one of those moments where Snow is really glad to be having a
Alright.
helmet on.
Yeah, be happy. Be very, very happy you have that helmet on.
Yeah, and although the scent is pretty bad, this you can see that this vest seems very like self disciplined and like very just like upfront. Like I'm here to do a job, regardless of the scent or whatnot. I will stand here and follow the orders I'm given.
True
You're getting that
soldier.
from but as soon as you mention Eclipse Innovation, you see that his demeanor slightly changes. Give me a sense motive check.
Okay. Sense motive. There you go, 33.
Nice.
He so this whole time he's been acting more or less like a businessman towards you, showing like he knows the quality of any product that comes in through his shop. That from what you saw the confrontation with Kalani, that he's a bit upfront with like, oh, you could do better if you were to buy parts from me and this and that. But once you mention Eclipse Innovation, he kind of goes from being like a businessman to almost like a person within himself. His shoulders begin to like kind of pop up, and he just responds with like, "Oh, that thing going around." And he where he was looking directly like at your eyes and everything, he's now his head is just kind of like half looking at you and half now like, "Oh, that stuff."
So you do have some knowledge on the matter. Let's just say that our goals towards them may be beneficial to each other. I'm sure they cause you no end of grief. Am I wrong?
You see, he's starting to show as you're saying more. He's starting to show like a bit of less interest in what you're saying. And at this point, with him sitting on the vest's shoulder, he's beginning now to like kind of climb his way down. The vest himself is showing a sigh of relief as the stench isn't nearly there as much. But he steps towards the ground as you finish the statement. He says, "How about you step into my office and I can talk to you one on one."
All right. And she's gonna follow.
Okay. So he's going to climb downwards and just start to head over, head over to the back of the counter. The younger Vesk is standing there and he just gives a notion to head. He just gives a notion and points towards where Gunner is standing at. You see the vest now releases like his arms begins to stand upward. He's a younger vest, but he starts to walk towards Gunner. Still being like 15 or 20 feet away from Gunner, but Gunner's just been looking at items this whole time, and now this guard is just like have a heavy eye on him.
Yeah, Snow's gonna say and flock into to the rest. If anything happens, feel free to make a mess.
Always do.
You got your
And
back.
walking.
It'd be a shame if I were to take one of these guns and put one of my batteries in them.
Oh.
That scene from Terminator where he's just loading shells into the shotgun.
Pretty much.
Pay for that, and then he just does the
I just imagine
obvious
this whole
thing.
time I was just being like John Wick, who was just taking the guns, like clearing the chamber, popping out the magazine, like doing the whole one over.
So,
So yeah, Snow says that before going into the office in Vlocken.
I respond back to her. It's like, yeah, we got your back.
I tug on Gunner's pant leg.
Can I
So-
help you?
Once you head
What's going
to
on?
once you head to behind the back part of the counter, you see on display or one of the sections of weapons are located towards the ground. It's a very small detail of the wall that just looks slightly off. You see Scuttle place a handprint on it, and you can see just the wiring going through the wall, and the wall slides open into a back room. And he just says, "Right this way."
Biometric lock on a secret door. Nice.
I suddenly feel sus about this.
As you both start to walk towards the back, a second.
What's funny is I'm in a suit of power armor and have a drone with me, so oh, if it's
Okay.
biometric lock signature, I just need a part of him to open it.
I feel slightly more safe.
As you both
Go.
head into the back room, Scuttle says, and he says it in common, "Riggs, Murtaugh, keep an eye on our guest." So once that's being said, I'm gonna switch back over because I said I was gonna go get to a toner. So I'm gonna deal with that now.
I gave Toner the chance to talk to the soldier.
So you both get escorted towards the back room. The door's gonna slide directly behind you. Once it's just you two. The older Vesk turns around, takes a look over, sees the toner, and says, He just begins to examine the toner, kind of look at a toner, takes another 5-10 foot step, begins to look at like any weapons that a toner may possess on him currently, and then just says, I feel like we've worked together.
Oh.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Were you the one with that flamethrower?
The toner just drops his name and rank.
Oh yeah, war crime a toner. I remember you.
He's like,
Sorry, I'll be quiet.
he's just like, probably did Commander Zenga Dratek. Don't go by that much more nowadays, but it is what it is.
He was part of a different division, but we have worked side by side together. Look at how today's turning out. Everyone knows everyone, it seems. As that's being said, you notice he is beginning to eye up the other people. Without making a sense motive, it looks like he's either A, eyeing them up because that was his job he was told to do, or B, eyeing them up because he might be suspicious about something. If you would like to find out which, make a sense motive.
I'm just like leaning against like the desk that I was talking with Scuttle at, and I'm just watching everything.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
He seems to be just spectating the area. It the look that he gives after he says it seems like everyone knows everyone. Like his immediate look looks as if he is maybe worried that someone is trying to steal something, but it does look like he's just spectating because he's doing his job, not spectating because people who come into this job, whether they are on one side or the other side of the wall, take different actions. It looks like he's just doing his job. He's not doesn't seem to be hostile towards anyone in your party.
Yeah. What would I know, I guess, culturally, about Versite's relationship with the Vesperium?
Uh,
Good terms, bad terms.
for what is known, your Versite is on good terms with Vesk in general. There's not too many type of races that are a problem on the planet Verses. Verses is more of like a cyberborn run planet. People come here for how well advanced people are with biometrics. There's a faction of people here called the Augmented on this planet as well. So it is known that people of all different races types come here. A lot of times that's what um, directly where you are. That's what this central area is known for. Like the middle part of Earth, where it's not too hot, it's not too cold. So Vesk are accepted where you are. They're not really seen as a threat per se. Just anyone that would give Augmented a hard time would be.
So this is the
Okay.
perfect place for Snow, being cyberborn and heavily augmented.
So yeah, a toner, he'll just sort of like respond back, like, yeah, seems like it. Wasn't expecting to run into a vet out here. Uh, but yeah, after the war, had a bit of my own personal reflections and decided I wanted to try and make a mark on the galaxy, a better one than I did back during the war. And one thing led to another, and now I'm here with these folk. How did you end up in these parts?
That's a funny exchange of things. After the war ended, I said I just wanted to try to get my life together. Spend some time just off the radar. I've worked together with a few other people from my squadron until their days were numbered, and as unfortunate as that could be, I said it was probably time to try to settle down a bit. I met another lovely Vesk, and my son, who I'm training here, wants to be like his father. So I'm showing him how to take a job, how to follow orders, and how to be a good role model.
The toner sort of like nods, and like there's a little bit of like a bittersweetness in his eye as he's like nodding, and just sort of like places a hand on the guy's shoulder, like gives it a couple like knee pats. He's like, glad to hear you're doing good. Glad to hear that. It's good to be someone to look up to. And then he just sort of like looks over to the son. He sort of like gives him like a casual salute.
He gives a salute back, and he like kind of stuff like, oh wait, it's like this. Wait, no, it's like this. Yeah, you could just hear saying, yeah, that's it. It says, fortunately, the work I do is does have its complications, but I'm teaching him the right way.
Yeah, it's all about trying to make the best that we got and make it better for those that come next, ain't it?
Yeah, sadly, our time comes for everyone, but if you can share the wisdom and things that you've learned from your experience to a young generation, maybe they could change and have a better one than we have. Uh, I look forward every day to seeing his smile in the morning and teaching him another day how to be more of a vest and growing up. And some days it doesn't feel like it pays off, and some days it does. The next thing for me is to try to find a job that maybe doesn't cross the line of the law.
So I know I'm not Starfinder, but I work um
Society.
with Snow that is part of the Snowfighter Society. Um, would there be any chance that I could use her name as like a poll?
I mean, Snow could, if you end up speaking with her,
Same with me.
but the rest of the crew doesn't know Kalani's involved in the Starfinder Society.
Only like Snow, I think, knows that she is.
Yeah. All right. A toner he'll like reply back is just like my boss, the captain I'm serving with, that just went back there with your boss. She's actually Starfinder Society. Um, if you got, if you don't mind exchanging digits, I could uh, pass your name along to her, see if maybe she might be able to find you something.
That would that'd be great actually. Um,
And when I overhear this, I come over. It's like, yeah, and I'm part of Starfinder Society as well.
Huh?
yeah,
Didn't know that. You'd think that would have came up before, but and he's like, "This is my other associate. Her name's Kalani."
he says, well, it is nice to meet you both. I'm Murtaugh. That's my son Riggs over there. And just throughout this whole conversation, he's all of you feel it. Like he's a bit tense. He has a job that he's trying to keep up with. That same socializing that he didn't do with Snow, he's kind of doing with you. You know, he was given an order, but he's. It looks like he's maybe had conversation before. Um, if Scuttle had to invite someone into a back room, so his tone is low. Everything that he's saying to you is with a low tone. Um, but you see, like, although he's nice and he's communicating with you both and kind of telling you about himself, he is keeping that like I still have a job to do attitude.
I use a little bit of diplomacy on him. I had rolled a 16 plus my 6. Oh, so sorry, 7 now for my expertise, and my diplomacy's max, so another 16. So 16, 16, 7, 22, 29, is it? I believe. I just basically say, hey, relax. We're not here to mess with you or your boss. unless we get messed with first. I tried to like calm him down since I kind of noticed that he was kind of tense. It's like, look, we have no beef with you guys, or don't want to cause any trouble with you guys, as long as you reciprocate.
It's all right, Kalani. He's doing his job and
Yeah,
he needs to be vigilant.
I understand that. I'm just saying that, hey, there's nothing that he really has to worry about with us unless they they want to, start something first. We don't have any need to screw with them, so they don't. It doesn't have to be that tense and whatnot. He can relax a little bit. His boss is in the back with our boss.
That's exactly what will tense me up.
And
Bosses are talking.
Bosses are talking. You're trying to be all nice right now.
Hanging out.
yeah, y'all do know that the more you try and insist that everything's fine, that just makes it more.
Yeah,
Just-
Kalon's being real sus right now.
That's why I'm over here just
Well,
looking
yeah,
at
everything's
products.
perfectly fine. Just turn your back and just go stand in the corner for a few minutes. We're cool, right?
Man, this
Who
gun
are you
sure
again?
is heavy.
I'm like I give him. I give him the information about my website. I'm like, hey, I'm an up and coming, you know, I guess icon in a way,
Oh,
a celebrity. So I don't want to. I'm like, I don't have any beef with any of you. Plus, it's like, hey, they might never have met a celebrity, even though I'm not much of one yet.
They just both kind of continue and or they both just kind of just listen to what everyone has to say. Both still again not looking hostile towards the party, but just looking like alarmed. They're doing their job, and in a stance in case Scuttle and Snow was to step out um, at that point. So they're just like, no, like this sounds like a good opportunity. Um, some of the clients that we deal with, Scuttle tends to get his hands dirty. And I would like to not have Riggs exposed to that. But it is good pay.
oh, hello.
Yeah, I did all that during the downtime just now while listening to you all. So
Yeah.
they're in your journal now. At,
Don't talk to me or my tiny son ever again.
in the journal, up at the top on the right, you'll see Verties, and then you'll see NPC, and then you'll see Murtaugh Riggs. They're added as new people you've like associated with that,
Why is Steve the Magnificent not been added?
You haven't gotten around.
I had a whole thing where he was gonna come in. It's like, hey, have you guys seen my Uncle Scuttle?
Oh, God.
I owe him some money.
I
But like,
hate it.
so, oh hey, it's you.
I tell him, it's like, look, if you're wanting to get into other types of work, I might be able to help you out there. And, if I really my celebrity status really starts taking off, maybe I can hire you guys as extra bodyguards or something, if that's what you're interested in.
That would be great. It's this could go for a while, and I know I'm limited on time, so I'm going to switch back over to Captain.
Yeah. We're just chit chatting back and forth.
Yeah. So Scuttle's gonna take you to the back office. Just again, this back office, I guess I should maybe give some information on what you see real quick. This tiny cluttered room looks to be like a testament of Scuttle. You can see that Scuttle looks to appear to like hoard a lot of things. Spare parts are kind of littered on the floor. Crates with shipments of salvageable and unsalvageable parts are kind of placed from almost from like floor to ceiling in certain parts of the room. And it just looks like a big mess back here. Um, Something where he just it's left as is, but he looks like if you were to look for something, he might know where to find it. He just takes a look at you. He's like, all right, what's going on with this Eclipse innovation in you? What's your part in all this?
Uh, well, they pissed off a number of people, me included. So I actually want to put a couple rounds between their boss's eyes.
That would run a big problem for me.
Would it?
Mmm.
They supply you?
And as I mentioned, I do not produce the parts. I obtain the parts, and everything that goes through here, I have a close eye on.
Alright. Alright, say we don't entirely shut them down, or at least the division that deals with you. You see, some of the things that they've been doing have been causing a lot of problems and is going to make things a lot worse for you included, really, if they're left to go about their business.
Oh yeah, does he use that X tech on a cyberborn planet?
He he just kind of like kind of like a rat screech that I tried to do and it didn't work. Yeah. He's like, look, it's Eclipse Innovation is a business associate of mine from way back. They deliver a shipment. I show up on the delivery route. Some credits change hands. I get some fresh new tech, and he takes a look. He sees that you've examined his eye, so he says, "Such as this," and Eclipse cashes in on the theft insurance. A typical business relationship.
Of
So
course.
cutting business with that for me would be a problem. And well, nobody here, nobody in general likes a snitch.
That
If
is
I'm gonna
very
stick
much
my neck
true.
out, if I'm gonna stick my neck out for you, you gotta give me something to work with. He kind of just like sticks his hand out.
She's actually going to open up the pocket dimension and pull out the prosthetic arm. Well, this was actually in one of their offices. I'm sure you would greatly appreciate. But also consider this. She's going to hold it like in front of him without actually handing it to him yet. Do you know about that asteroid, the resort?
New Elysium.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
That moment where the DM is just caught like, I may. Why do you ask?
I'm asking because they are the. I mean, I'm sure you saw the news reports, but it was them at the center of it. They were testing out new weapons and equipment, and how far do you think it is from, complete destruction and wipeout of almost every person on the asteroid to, say, a city or a planet?
Well, that's just unfortunate for the asteroid. I mean, if that was to happen here, I'm I'm good.
Oh, you say
Planet
that being
wide.
on the verge of the city itself, but I don't know. An asteroid, especially an asteroid that size, an entire city is easily gone.
A
She is
city
gonna
gets
hand
wiped.
the prosthetic to him at that point.
Yeah, he just says over to you. A city gets wiped clean. People hear about it. A city gets repopulated, and people need to look for new
And the
body
city gets wiped
enhancements.
out, and you're inside the city. And guess where you go? Either way, like I said, I'll be more than happy to leave certain things either unwatched, unguarded, or overall left alone entirely. But there's certain people that do need to be stopped.
Oh,
You could still continue your business, given the information that I may receive. It may be possible. But there are some people who are doing a research and development that should not be happening.
He as all this was being mentioned, you see he is paying attention to the arm with his eye, the same thing that he did with you, where it blanked and it was almost like a camera taking a picture where it kind of closes, opens up. He's kind of doing that. It looks almost like he's scanning it with his right eye as all this information you're saying to him. It says, this could be useful. A little too big for my size, but this could.
I'm sure a
He,
resourceful person like you could find a use for it, if not a price for it. And consider it a gift.
how about you tack on 1,000 credits and we have a deal?
The arm and 1,000 credits?
Yeah. If this information is that important to you, I think that's a minor price.
I say 500 credits, and we become regular shoppers for you.
Give me a persuasion check.
Not
Unless
one
you
of
want
my
to
best
play
things.
Ugh.
unless you want to play a different skill. If you want to take a different approach.
Intimidation.
I mean, intimidation would be better for me.
You know what? Yeah, let's make it
500
intimidation.
credits and we become your customers. Help,
you
help, help,
you
help, rat boy.
you do have some of the shadow
Hmm.
manifestations that would play into effect here. So yeah, let's go with intimidation
That was a
instead.
4 on the dice, so an 18 total.
He looks over to you. He's like, I think maybe 1,500 credits now would suffice. If you're willing to toss a 500 and like that.
Yeah, 500 is different than 1,500. How about I take my arm back and we just find the information elsewhere, and you could just lose the entire division that you're getting your supplies from?
He just sees. The arm plus 1,000 credits. Take it or leave
Fine.
it. He pulls out like a comm unit device that looks like it has a slot to put a cred stick into to load credits into it. Um, the machine looks a bit fishy, but when you take like a longer glance at it, he does deal with both sides of the law. So it looks like this is just a way for him to transfer funds without it being tracked. No, like computer system would be able to easily find out who the source is from, who the buyer is from, or any information like that.
And she transfers over the credits.
And as you hand over the arm, he says, "Look, Eclipse Innovation is a washed-up military contractor from back in the Swarm days. You and your crew look maybe a little too young to remember it, but it was terrible. Eclipse started poking their nose into things best left alone, wanting super soldiers that couldn't feel pain, stuff like that. Some doctors were in charge of it. Um, I don't remember the lady that was in charge of all of it. But then one day, the lab just poofed. She ghosted him. Now, present day Eclipse Innovation is installing these transmitters, right? These transmitters ain't just for the apps though. They make people hurt themselves, possibly kill each other. I've downloaded the app and looked into it myself, and then destroyed any technology that was involved with it. And if you ask me, something else I think happened in that lab that really screwed over Eclipse Innovation.
Interesting. Some kind of glitch in the system or sabotage.
A ghost in the machine.
Oh,
Snow is the ghost in the machine. Interesting information.
He with the pile of junk that's placed directly behind him, he says, hold on 1 second. He begins like just burrowing through all this gear, kind of throwing some parts. Some of them look in very condition. Some of them look very poor. A lot of it looks like it needs to be worked on, or like assembled or put together to make a product functional. But he begins to scour through some of it, and he comes out with this like black, almost like a black modem box in his hand, and he just says, "This is an example of the transmit right here." Um, from what I can tell, this, and he looks at like the make, the model number, and everything that's on it. He says, "This is an Eclipse Innovation transmitter." I was not successful in trying to pinpoint where their office is located, but from what I picked up from the shipments and stuff, wherever they get it, it's somewhere dark and it's somewhere cold. It's on this planet somewhere, but trying to find it is hard. I feel in my mind it's placed underground somewhere. Just from the bits and clues that I've heard during some pickups.
Alright.
Now, I haven't visited that side. I've worked the shade all of my life, but anything that involves that laboratory spooks me. But that's none of my business. These transmitters are affecting anyone with the penumbra map on this planet, and there are a lot of these placed around.
And so, what we need to do is triangulate the signal. Alright, I mean, with the information you gave me, it sounds reasonable enough that we'd be able to take out the target facility without affecting your business. See, was it really that hard?
Like I said, everything works for a price. Oh, did I not say that? I'm sorry.
I mean, everything does have a price, that's for damn sure. I guess now I get to hunt down even more scientists and add them to my wall.
This is the Eclipse Innovation account. Just be careful.
Yeah, they
With them
have old
able
combat veterans, and so do we.
with them able to produce an app that can literally turn people around this place crazy, who knows what they're capable of.
lovely.
And they've been tapping into the shadow dimension. That's a bit of free information for you. But
All now that's your problem. He tosses the transmitter over to you. Thanks for the arm. And he kind of just tosses it to the top pile of junk.
thanks for the information. I think we need to be on our way. I could see if my crew wants to buy anything first.
Okay, let's head out. And you both, the door begins to slide open, and both Bertod and Briggs like stiffen back up, like, and that sound is heard as the door slides open. And they make sure they're spaced at least 15 feet away from everyone. They try to space themselves and hold themselves upright as if they haven't been having a conversation with you these past couple of minutes. And Murtaugh even takes the fence and says, like, look, either you're buying something or you got to get out.
And Snow's gonna say to us, her crew, if you're gonna buy anything, now's the time. She's gonna address Murtaugh. I owe you a drink. So whenever you're done your shift, you can meet us at, what was the name of that bar again?
Lizard's Lounge.
Yeah, you can meet us at the Lizards Lounge, and we could chit chat there, and I'll buy you a drink.
He looks over to you. He gives a puzzled look. Scuttles next to you. So again, he's still keeping this like hard, like somewhat badass demeanor towards you. Not trying to show any weakness. Scuttle kind of gives a nod and is like, go ahead, and kind of leans his head towards the side. And he says, that sounds great. What time?
Was there a time that was given for the meeting?
Roughly like 9-ish, I put.
Yeah, she would give that time frame.
Okay. I will, I'll see you then.
All right, she's gonna leave the shop.
The rest of the party?
Sorry, my Wi-Fi kind of kicked and I just got back on. What did I miss?
Snow got information and offered to buy a drink for the Vescan former soldier.
I'm just holding the biggest, heaviest gun they have. I'm like, oh, we're leaving? All right, cool. And I just hand it over to the younger Vesk. And I just leave. Don't even acknowledge him.
I asked that Yasaki. It's like I probably don't have the credits right now, but what were you looking for when we were talking earlier about the new parts?
You're saying that you're saying that to the vest?
Yeah, no, to the Yasaki.
Scuttle.
When we were talking earlier, we were discussing my cybernetics, my eye cybernetics.
He just he hops back onto the table and he just kind of like does the notion to like come here with his hand. He's like, oh yeah, this part that you're using is extremely outdated. You're like 4 generations behind. They worked so much better on it. I have it, or I'm sorry, I could acquire it and have it in stock, but it's not something I have today. But it's not cheap either.
What are we looking at on price?
Yeah, we're looking like 3 digits past the comma. Credits.
As I said, I don't have anything like that at this time, but I'm maybe back in the future once I have something of that in that order, and be back to check in. Shouldn't be too difficult for me.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go to bed.
Yeah.
And it's like with that, I turn and leave, and Yeah, it's that time of the night.
Ugh.
So I'm going to end it as this. As everyone begins to get their gatherings and things like that, you step outside of the shop, and before people were kind of scuttling and things before you arrive towards the shop, and now the streets seem a little too empty. And I'll leave it at that.
Gang war.
Something.